Hi class, what I want to do in this video here is walk you through your final project and actually do a sample final project that's just slightly different from yours. So what you'll be able to do is after you watch this video is you'll be able to construct all the graphs and calculations in your final project just by following along with what I do. Okay, so first let me explain to you your final project, and then I'll get to the sample one. So when you go into Blackboard, there's a tab here that says Final Project, and you'll just, you can open up the Word doc or the PDF. I'll open up the PDF here. And what you'll see here is this is your final project. And what it's going to involve is it's going to involve you analyzing a stock index. So the one that you're going to have to do in your report here is the S&P 500 stock index. And what you're going to do is you're going to look at it from 2005 to 2020. And so what I have here is I have the year open and the year close for the years 2005 to 2020. And so what year open is just basically how much the stock index opened up at, and then that's January 1, and then what it closed at, the closing price of the stock index on December 31st of that year. And so just so for your own edification, the S&P 500 stock index is a weighted stock index of the largest 500 companies in the United States. Like, for example, at the time of this recording, the largest company or the largest holding in the S&P 500 was Apple. And so it's weighted. So what that means is 6% of the fund is made up by Apple, which is just one stock. So it's weighted that way. All right, so the first thing you're gonna have to do when you log in here is you'll notice that there's an annual percent change column here. All right, so you're gonna have to fill that out. And so let me just show you how to do that, right? So again, like for 2005, you wanna find the annual percent change, okay? Well, that would be the year close minus the year start, or the year open, divided by the year open. Because it's the ending value minus starting value divided by the starting value. And so look, you can round this off and you say, look, in 2005, the S&P 500 stock index rose, I'm going to change it to a percentage, rose to as a decimal, it's 0.038, or as a percentage, it would be 3.8%. Okay, so what you would put in here is your annual percent change would be, and actually let me load up the Word document here so you can see. What you would do is you'd put this in as 3.8%. And you'd have to do that for every year. Okay, so I'll let you do that on your own for every year. Okay, and then once you've done that, then you're going to jump into and you're going to answer all these different questions here. Okay, and let me jump in to do that for you. And so what I want to do here is I want to take a different stock index and walk you through all the same questions that are on your final project. Okay, so this sample one here that I'm going to do for you in this video, and I'm also going to post this in the Blackboard so that you can download it. This one looks at the NASDAQ stock index. Okay, so this one looks at the NASDAQ. And the NASDAQ is just a tech-heavy stock index. So it's made up of companies like Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, NVIDIA, Tesla's in it, companies like that. Okay, and so what I've done with this one here is I'm only going to do this from 2009 to 2019 in here. But what I have here is I have the year open, year closed, and I've already gone ahead and found the annual percent change. Okay, so like for example, how I did 2009 and got 39%, I just went the ending value, 2269.15, minus the starting value, 1632.21, divided by the starting value, 1632.21. And look, 39% is what I got there. All right, so these are the same questions that are listed in your assignment. I'm just using it for the with the NASDAQ one here, just so you could see it. All right. So the first one says, pay attention up at the top. It says round all values to 2 decimal places except for R, the linear correlation coefficient, and you're going to round R to 4 decimal places. Okay. So the first thing it says here is it says compute the mean, median, range, and standard deviation for the annual percent change. So that would be this column right here, okay? So I'm going to show you how to do this in your graphing calculator, right? So what you're going to do in your graphing calculator here, and we've learned this in the previous lectures here. What you're going to do is you're going to hit the stat button, okay? And under number 1, you're going to edit the list. You're going to input these. Now you're going to input them as these numbers. Don't change them to decimals, okay? So I'm going to put in 39, 14.9. 1 year NASDAQ was down 3.2%, 14, 34.2, I'm just going down, 14.3, 5.9, 9.8, 27.2, that's a pretty good year. And then it was followed by being down 5.3, but then the next year was up 34.6. All right, so what you can do, all right, what you're going to do for this is you're going to hit Stat. You're going to scroll over to Calc, and you're going to want 1-var stats here, okay? So you're going to hit Enter. And then if you have a TI-83, you're just going to hit Enter again. Here I'm going to go down to Calculate, and you should see something that looks like this, okay? X bar here, that first one here, 16.85, that's the mean. So I'm going to put this in here. Mean equals 16.85. Now the range is, now be careful here. Okay, the range is the max value, which is 39 minus the min value. So that would be 39 minus 5.3. Well, negative becomes a positive, and it's really just 39 plus 5.3, which would be 44.3. Oh, I skipped a little ahead here. The median, sorry about that, skipped that there. But the median you can see here is 14.3. It's right in your calculator as well. And the standard deviation. So looking at our calculator, we've always defined the standard deviation in our class as just S sub x. Okay, so I'm just gonna select that one. When you take statistics, you know, Math 140, if you decide to take that, there's a subtle distinction between sigma x and S sub x. But here we'll just do this. It's 15.15. All right, so the next question says this, okay? Looking at these values over the long run, is investing in the NASDAQ stock index a profitable investment? And the answer is yes. In the long run, it is profitable. All right, it is profitable to invest in the NASDAQ. And so ask yourself why. Like, why is that? And the reason is if you look at the mean, it's 16.85. So what this is saying is look, on average, you're going to make 16.85% per year investing in this, which is really, really good. Okay. But you know, is there risk in investing in the stock market? Yes. Okay. And the standard deviation is a good measure for the risk. Okay. And if you look here, like even one standard deviation below the mean, you know, a little bit more than one standard deviation below the mean, you get into negative territory, and so that's not so good. Okay, so because the standard deviation is so high, there is still risk in investing in this. Okay, and it's true. If you look here, if you pick some bad years, you're going to lose money. Okay. All right, so we got that. That's really good. The next thing it says here is it says use Microsoft Excel or this website. And I'm going to show you how to do both to construct a box plot for the annual percent change. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this in Excel. So if you see this little marker here, what you can do is you can right click on this and copy the data. And then you can go into Excel and you can just paste the data. All right. And if you notice how some of the numbers have like these number signs here, if you just change the cells or change the width of the cells, they'll appear. All right, so what you want to do here is you want to show the box plot. Okay, so all you're going to do in Excel to show the box plot is you're just going to take your mouse and you're going to highlight this column. You're going to go Insert, and then what you can do is you're going to click on Recommended Charts, click on All Charts, and down here you can see something called the box and whisker plot, which is right there. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK. And this is my box plot here. And I can change the title here. So to copy this, now what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to paste this into Microsoft or into Word here, okay, into your Word document here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna right click on it, you're gonna hit copy. And then when you go in here to paste it, okay, just click into your Microsoft Word, hit paste, and then there's this option that says picture, okay, and it'll paste it as a picture. Now suppose you don't want to use Microsoft Excel. Okay, you're like, I'm not a big Microsoft Excel fan. There's this website when you click on the link here, all right, that it has a bunch of online statistic calculators, okay? And you can see right here, I want you to do a box plot. So what I'm going to do is click on box plot here. And what it's going to want you to do, it says enter comma separated data. So you're going to take this column of annual percent change and you're going to put it in, separating it by a comma. 39.0 comma 14.9 comma negative 3.2 comma. And you see what I'm doing? 14.0 comma 34.2 comma 14.3 comma 5.9 comma 9.8 comma 27.2 and then another comma minus 5.3 comma and then 34.6. And now sometimes this data, sometimes this website doesn't do the best job producing it, or sometimes, sometimes you'll have to wait for it to come up or not, but and other times it'll just pop up like this. All right, so then to get this, look, I'm gonna right click, I'm gonna hit copy image, and then I'm gonna paste it right in here. So again, you're gonna have to hit paste image so you can see it, or paste picture. All right, so the first one was in Excel, this one was using the website, and you can see like they're the same basic shape. All right, they're just, one's just a little, this is an Excel format, this is the website format. Okay, so the next thing says, use Microsoft Excel, the website, to construct a scatter plot of the year close and the year. All right, so this one's a little confusing. So I want the year closing price and the year. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, in Excel, I'm going to copy these columns over. And to create a scatter plot, here's what I do. Make sure you have year here, the year in the first column, and year close in the second column. All you're going to do is you're going to highlight the data like this. And then again, you're going to go into Insert, Recommended Charts, and then just go and make sure when you click on Scatter Plot, you're going to want the one that just has one set of dots. You're going to click on that. And then hit OK. And there's the scatter plot of the NASDAQ from the closing price from 2009 to 2019. And you can see there's definitely an upward trend here. So I'm going to copy this again. And then I'm going to just paste the picture. Okay. Now it says comment on the general trend. And look, it just says over time, it looks like there's a positive relationship. So the NASDAQ just appears to be going up over time. Okay, so now I want to show you how to use this website for this. Okay, so suppose you're like, I'm not liking Microsoft Excel. Let me take a look at the website here. Oops, sorry about that. Bring back the website. All right, so you can see here there's this thing called scatter plot generator. So I'm going to click on that. And here's how you have to do this. Okay, so I'm going to look at my Excel data here again. All right. It says put in the X value, comma, Y values, how you want this. So here's what you have to do. You have to go 2009, comma, and then you have to put the closing price, 2269.15. Then you're going to hit enter, and you're going to go, well, in 2010, comma, 2652.87, and then so on. 2011, comma, 2605.15. And you're going to keep doing this. 2012, and then the closing price. Nope, sorry, you don't want these spaces here. 3019.51, and then in 2013 it had gone up to 4176.59. So you can see some of this, it's not the most fun, this part here. 4736.05. 2015 it was 5007.41. 2016 it was 5383.12. 2017 it was 6903.39. 2018 it was 6635.28, and 2019 it was 8972.61. All right, so you have to plug in the data that way. All right, now watch what happens when I hit submit data. You can see it's the same scatter plot. All right, so what I'm going to next do is I'm going to hit right click, and I'm going to go copy image, and then here again, if you want to paste it in, you're just going to make sure you paste the picture, and you can see it right here. All right, next, what we're now going to do is we're going to do some time series regression. So you have to make sure you've watched up to this point here. You have to make sure that you've watched the lectures on the relationship between two variables here. Okay, scatter plots, correlation, regression, and then time series data and correlation. You have to make sure you watched all those lectures here. Okay. All right, so what it says here is it says find a regression equation. Okay, so that's the best fit line. Okay. For year close, that's my Y variable at X years since 2019. Okay, so what's going on here is we're going to let the variable X be equal to years since 2009. And we're going to let Y be equal to the close price at X years since 2009. Okay, so we know this is Y is equal to AX plus B in our calculator. All right, so here's what you have to do. You have to transform the years, okay, into this new X value, okay? So when you go to do your calculator here, all right, you want year close, but you want X values to be years since 2009. So when you go into stat under edit, instead of putting 2009, you're going to put 0, and then 2010 is 1 year since, and so on. All the way till you get to 2019, which is 10 years, okay, since 2009. We talked about this in the time series regression lecture. Okay, this is about indexing your regression equation to a specific year, and that's 2009. And then unfortunately what you have to do is you have to plug in, you know, the year close, okay? So you have to plug in all these values. 2269.15. And it's just going to take me a while to go down. You have to go down in the correct order. You can see, you know, it takes a little time. And then here, 5007.41, 5383.12, 6903, 0.39, 6635, 0.28, and then 10 here was this last one, 8972.61. And look, you're going to hit, to do the regression equation, all you're going to do is on your calculator, you're going to hit stat, you're going to scroll over to calc, and you want option number 4 in your calculator that we talked about, this ln reg ax plus b. And then you're going to scroll down to calculate, or if you have the TI-83, you're just going to hit hit return, hit enter. And you can see here I've got my a and b, right? So it's saying here y is equal to 617.27x plus, it looks like 1673.75. And this was just found using the TI graphing calculator. Look, you can also, if you find that you like using this website, okay, that I've shown you here, you can see here when you go back, there's something called linear regression, okay, and what you can do is you can plug in the values just using the x comma y. So like 1 comma 0, you know, removing these values 0. It saves your data too, which is phenomenal when you do this. So what I'm doing is from the calculator, I'm just moving the calculator data over to here. You see you're going to get basically the same thing. You can see right here. Slope, but they list the slope as B, just why it's a little different, why it's a little confusing. But you can see the slope, 617.27, boom, they got it right here. And they have the same intercept, okay? So we've got that. All right, so you could use this if you want. All right, next it says, calculate the value of R. Okay, so in your graphing calculator, what you have to make sure you have on is you go second function, you go to catalog, you go down to the D's, and you make sure you have diagnostic on. All right, this is covered in my lecture videos as well. And then back under stat, calc, option number 4, since you already have the data plugged in, you can see here R is just 0.9655. And look, in this website too, if you scroll down here, look, correlation coefficient, you can just click right on this, and look, you get the same value. Okay, so you can also use this website to do all of this work. All right, so next it says use your regression equation to predict the year close price of the NASDAQ in 2020. Well, look, you're going to use this equation here. Well, remember, X is years since 2009, so you're using X is equal to 11 here. So you're going to take 11 and plug it in. And you're just going to need your graphing calculator here. So you're going to go 617.27 times 11 plus 1673.75. And we would predict the closing of the NASDAQ that year to be 8463.72. So it should be $8,463.72. All right, class. I know this was really quick, and you know, I'm throwing a lot of different things at you with Excel and this fun website here. But you know, as always, if you have any questions as you go through this, let me know. I'm gonna post this into Blackboard for you so you can see what you're going to need to do. But if you have any questions, just let me know.